Oh yeah, I am all red.
Yeah, you are. Oh, hey, we're live. Awkward.
Hmm.
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to our live show. Today is Tuesday, March 24th. Today's live show is going to be on BB Wars. We previously just had a BB Wars Good Empire. We won at the VA event, which I'm very proud of you guys. And we have another episode game coming up on what does that say? Sunday. Sorry, brain
Sunday.
part. And in Texas, and that's going to be an epic game. So we're going to get into a lot of that in just a minute. But Bill, why don't you start us off with some promotions?
Okay, so first off, 2015. The coupon code 2015 is still in effect. So use that to get 25% off select items, as well as another thing that's still in effect is the $1 million giveaway. So select items, you may not be able to get a discount, but you can free. I really can't talk. Get free stuff instead. Sorry, I was just out filming, so that's also probably why I'm a little red. Also, don't forget, we do have 3 stores. We have one here in Walnut, California, one in Plano, Texas, and we have one on the East Coast all the way in Chesterfield, Virginia, which, be sure to log on to GI Tactical for faster East Coast shipping.
All right, let me help you out here.
Okay, thank you. I'm like, whew.
Okay, so other cool stuff we have going on. Right now, we have 2 blitzes going on. If you guys are not familiar with blitzes, they are usually a couple items that are heavily discounted. I'm talking like 50% or more. So right now, actually, I think it's this guy.
Yep.
We have the Robinson's Arms Full Metal XCR RDP, which is this guy here. It's the full carbine length version of the XCR. Nice, very cool. This gun usually retails for $400. Right now, it's selling for $185. $185, which is nuts. This is a super high-end gun, definitely worth $400, but the fact that you can get it for over 50% off is nuts. This deal is ending tonight at midnight, so if you guys are watching this and want to get this awesome gun, Bill, you hit some buttons.
I hit the space bar, sorry.
Oh my gosh, the internet exploded.
No, it's still there. Something I like about this is, the sticker that says beware of putting your finger there, because it can pinch.
Yes.
But it's a very satisfying bolt catch.
Yes.
Very satisfying.
And I did get a chance to shoot this. This thing performs awesome. Can definitely handle level 1 lipo. Absolutely solid gun. The other blitz we have going on is a Blauser. Did I say it right? Blazer. I bar that all the time. And that is a really cool bolt action sniper rifle that retails for $200. Right now it's going for $80 only in the California walk-in store here in Walnut, California. So they're open till 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So if you guys are in SoCal, drive down there and get that crazy good deal. Once again, that's over 50% off.
Did you know this red dot still works?
Yes.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's awesome.
Is that the one that shuts off on its own when you put this thing on it?
I believe so. It's like the auto sensor, which is pretty sweet. So I did mention we have BB Wars events. We have 2 events that are upcoming. The first one is the Texas game, which is a New Dawn episode 1. Those tickets are still available, but they're selling out very soon. I anticipate they're probably going to sell out around Friday or so. Walk-ons are welcome, but you will be paying $5 more, and you will be assigned a team to make sure the teams are balanced. So if you guys know you want to go to the Texas event, buy your tickets today because they're selling out fast. The next event we have is going to be a SoCal game at Code Red, which is going to be taking place April 26th, also a Sunday. Make sure you guys join us for that because unfortunately Code Red will not be with us for too much longer, but this will be an awesome event at their field, and one of my favorite fields here in the SoCal area. Other good stuff we have going on, we have Taurus M9 that is $100, but right now it's going for $49.99. So it is a fully functional gas blowback pistol, I believe powered by green gas, right?
Yeah, it's green gas. Sorry, I'm just like...
Yeah, no worries. So that's a really cool pistol, but that's going on sale for 50% off. We have a lot of new shockers that are going up daily, so keep an eye on that. We also have, for the AK lovers out here, a 2,500 round AK drum magazine that usually retails for, I believe, $80. Right now it's $40, which is super sweet.
And ladies and gentlemen, here's the Axeman himself.
The one and only Bob. Last thing is we recently got the Aries Amoebas back in stock, the not-so-honey badgers. We got those back in black and tan, which are super dope. So, Bob, I think I just covered all the promotions. I know we got some new products, and we have BB Wars to discuss. So,
indeed.
Why don't we jump into BB Wars a little bit? Are you excited for this weekend?
I'm really excited. It's been a while since we've had an event of this like high caliber, as well as just this many people showing up with vehicles, by the way. So I'm really excited. I mean, this is going to be a really fun weekend. We've already sold over 350 tickets, which is pretty bomb.
Yeah.
And it means also there's not that many tickets left. So if you want to get in on this, get your tickets now on airsoftgl.com, and also make sure to pay attention to the finer details on the game ticket. Once you read the rules, once you sign the waiver ahead of time, Also, if you're bringing in a certain variety of guns, depending on the side you're signing up on, you could receive an Airsoft GI $5 gift card back. So it's really cool because, like, if you pre-register online and you bring that gun to the game, you're essentially paying $5 less for the game ticket, which is pretty awesome, and you get a chance to win all these raffle tickets. And we try and keep these games as low cost as possible so that as many people can go from the widest array or widest spectrum of the Airsoft community as possible. So this is going to be really fun. The vehicles I've seen that are coming are ridiculous, and I honestly can't wait. And I want to say the Imperials are going to get the crap kicked out of them, but honestly, it's just going to be a really fun day of Airsoft. So I just don't want to get captured.
Okay, and I think the vehicles have been the most consistent thing you've been talking about. What can you tell us about some of these vehicles that are going to be at this event on Sunday?
Well, as far as the Imperial vehicles go, you guys will certainly have numbers. However, the Rebels have quality. Now, you guys are going to be getting essentially 3 technicals, 2 to 3 technicals. I believe each of them has 1 to 2 machine gun mounts. However, the Rebel vehicle, I believe, is run by Blackout Militia. They call it the MRAV. Now, this thing has, I believe, anywhere between 4 to 6 firing ports. One of those ports is on the top where they can mount a machine gun. However, they also have a gun rack on the front, and most importantly, they have 6 pre-lined up missile launchers with a fire control system inside the cab. So it can be somewhat overpowered, but you actually have to aim the entire vehicle at whatever you're shooting at with the rockets. And they actually have each like 2 tubes are designated for this range, another 2 tubes are canted back for a different range, and the third line of tubes are canted for an even longer range. So it's pretty cool. But like when they use all the rockets, it's just like a real MLRS where you use it all and then it's going to take a while to fill it back up. So that's really cool. There's some anti-armor teams coming out, folks with rocket launchers, which will make for a really good dynamic. I mean, I think you've been there when this happened before, but like you're engaging in an airsoft gunfight, grenades are going off, and you see a rocket whiz by, and you're like, wow.
Yeah, you seriously duck, and you just get a very cinematic experience, the best way I can describe it, where you're like, I'm in a movie, like something like that. It's really, really cool.
For me, I usually just take cover, and I'm like, it's like, oh, this is so cool.
Yeah.
So it's really awesome, and I honestly can't wait for this, not only for the fact that all the different things that are going to be there, but also the community. I mean, going out and airsofting with the Texas community, just meeting everyone in general. Everyone's so nice and so thoughtful, generally all around really fun to play with. I mean, when we went there, I believe I got the chance to play with, forgive me if I get this wrong, it's like Trident Milsim Group or Trident 6 Milsim. They got a really bomb patch, and the players are amazing on that team. They're really great with the younger crowd, and they're also really great just rocking out and playing airsoft really well. They were actually in our trench warfare video. I think one guy in a black soft shell comes up with his HPA gun, and then rolls over, swiftly reaches around, drops mag, puts mag in, gets back up, and starts shooting.
I remember that. I think I made a comment saying like, "Wow, that was an impressive reload. Like, it looked really legit." So that was cool.
That's Trident 6 Milsim, yeah.
Awesome. Shout out to you guys. So maybe we can get into the scenarios just a little bit. Like, I really like the first scenario that's going to be happening on Sunday because it's specifically revolved around the vehicles that we're going to have. So if you take a look at the vehicles that we have, the objective for the Imperials, my team, and we're going to be trying to get one specific vehicle that has nuclear material to from one side of the field to the other. But I have 3 vehicles, and Bob's team obviously is not going to know which one has that material. So I think that's a very cool and interesting dynamic for a game ticket, that's below $50. That you have full-fledged vehicle anti-armor teams, and you have to protect these vehicles. And so that's what I'm working with my guys and my team to try to coordinate the best possible routes to keep the material secure, while Bob is obviously going to do the opposite.
I think that's kind of the way I designed some of these, well, actually all of these, is that we want to have like a main mission, and then we also want to have a bunch of different side missions, but you got to leave a lot of stuff up in the air for each commander. Like, I planned all these missions, but I don't want to, the last thing I want to do is make it easy for me. So you got to kind of throw that roll of dice in there somehow. So you have a lot of leeway in how you want to do options and how you want to do things. And I have some leeway in how I want to accomplish those things. Like, for example, let's say, and I was going to mention this to you earlier, but actually I was thinking about not mentioning it and letting you figure it out, but I feel like I might as well just say it.
And I'm curious.
Well, let's say we blow up one of the vehicles, and let's say you need to get that, like it's a nuclear convoy, you need to get it through. Just because we blew up the vehicle doesn't mean you can't pull the crap out of the back of the van and get it across the bridge. However, that nuclear transport thing, you're gonna have a hard time lifting it without like 3 to 4 people.
Well, we got this.
Yeah, yeah. Well, so if the convoy gets blown up, you can do a man-portable convoy and just make it happen.
Yep.
So if it's stupid but it works, it isn't stupid.
Exactly.
So there's a lot of options. We want to leave leeway open. And also another thing is like I try to have between 3 to 5 side missions in each scenario so that people can focus on the main mission, but if that gets too clogged or people want to be able to sneak around or recon or do other crazy and awesome things, they have that opportunity with all of these different side missions. And honestly, like a lot of them are sincerely important. Like in the first scenario, if you read it carefully, you have to set up your Imperial Tactical Operations Center before you can start sending out convoys. Now, if you're about to send out a convoy and we just destroy your Tactical Operations Center, you got to go back and figure that out. You can't just send a convoy out. So there's a lot of things that are contingent on others.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's what's cool about BB Wars and how these games are designed, that, we're trying to cater towards the mass audience so everybody can enjoy it. So, once again, the ticket price is very affordable. But when you come to these events, if you want to play more milsim objective based and you want to, find the operation center and, take out objectives, or you want to focus on protecting the convoys, you can do that. But if you want to just kind of go off on your own and enjoy a good airsoft game at the same time, obviously we encourage you to, stick with the objectives and have a good time. But there's a lot of freedom that you can have, that it's not going to be like super strict. Oh, you have to stay with your squad. We're out here to have a good time. It's called BB Wars, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be fun and lighthearted. But Empires are going to win.
That's so funny.
So yeah, I really like these side missions. One thing that I like about the side missions that you designed is that in each scenario, I believe, there is capture. Or assassinate and capture the enemy commander.
Right now it's just capture and interrogate, and essentially we've always had that in our games from the beginning, like all the way back to the Tim versus Bob. The opportunity to capture commander is really cool, but it's also like, I've been on this side where I actually, in Tim vs. Bob 1, I personally captured Tim, and I was the only one there, so I had to bring him back. And the whole time trying to get him back to command post, I was sweating bullets. Like, I was just trying to get back there and not get shot, because this is my one opportunity to succeed. And that's what's cool about this, is like, to get those points, which it's worth a lot of points to capture an enemy commander, you have to get him and get him safely back through your lines to your command post or tactical operations center. And that can be really hair-raising.
So, and the reason why I bring this up too is I've seen multiple comments of people saying they're going to shoot me and they're going to shoot Bob. Can you walk them through, if they're in that scenario where they find me, all alone, and I'm shot and I'm down and I'm wounded or whatever, how do they go about capturing us and bringing us back to their headquarters?
Okay, well, there are two things to consider. The medic ban rules, like everyone can get medicked once. Now, let's say I've already been medicked and you shoot me. I don't actually lay down. I actually just go straight back to respawn. So if I'm already medicked and you shoot me, you're not really going to have a chance to capture me.
You're dead.
Yeah, I'm dead. So if they see me wandering around, unfortunately by myself, they shoot me, I go down. I'm going to be on the ground for, I believe it is 5 minutes. So I'm going to be stuck there for 5 minutes, and at that point you can run up, and you basically just have to put your hand on my shoulder, and then I'll get up. I'm not obligated to go faster than walking. So I can walk, and I can be sluggish, and you were telling me you might just like throw down some dead weight.
Exactly. Not going to go easy.
However, it doesn't stop you from dragging me, but I would really appreciate it if you don't get violent. This is not like a serious milsim game, so don't hit me, don't do anything. If you think I'm walking too slow, feel free to drag me, pick me up, or do whatever, but just don't hit me.
Yeah. No boot to the face, like in the.
Not again.
Yeah. Only Bill can do that.
Yeah. So that's the skinny with that, but you're definitely going to want to have a lot of coverage and a clear line of retreat back to your own friendly lines if you capture the enemy commander. Where's our Scorpion Evo?
Our Scorpion Evo, I believe that went out to the NRA event.
Ah, dang it! We got Action Sport Games Bob.
Oh, hi, Bob.
Hey, Double Bob Day, because you're here. Yeah, he's just asking if we should replace that with the Scorpion Evo. We will when he gets back.
So yeah, the side missions I think are cool. I like the main scenario for the first one. The second scenario is going to be definitely more personnel based, where the second scenario is there's going to be HVTs where you either have to capture, kill or prevent the capture of one of these HVTs. So we have a nuclear scientist and a spy master. So we're going to have other people playing these characters or these roles, and each team is either going to try to capture or prevent the capture of these players. So this is actually really cool, and I like how this kind of ties into the storyline. And I know you also said that at D14 there's like a mansion that they consider like the drug house, correct?
Yeah, the nuclear scientist and the spy master are in two separate buildings, and then in the third scenario, we actually have the drug lord who's helping the Imperial troops in their pursuit to take over the local area, and we make use of the drug mansion in that way. The drug lord will be in that mansion. He'll also have a variety of boxes that have weapons destined for Imperial troops. Now, the Imperials are going to have an advantage if they can defend his mansion and defend the drug lord there. However, if they need to extract, they can take him and his weapons, bring him back to the Tactical Operations Center, and defend him from there. But you're going to get less points. So it behooves you to defend him in place, but you have the option of bringing him back to a more secure location.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yes.
What scenario would you say you're most excited about?
Honestly, the first one. The first one and probably the last one. The first one just because, like, I honestly have no idea how soon you're gonna start sending convoys, and I personally will be really frustrated is if you get your tactical operations center set up, send out the first convoy, and before I get prepared to deal with the armor, that was the nuke. It's like, oh god, dang it, Daniel.
Kind of rush and yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, who dares wins.
Yeah.
But I might already have my anti-armor team set up by the time you do that, and if you send it first, maybe it goes into an ambush. So you really got to plan out your route clearance, and you really got to set up your support before you send those convoys. Otherwise, a lot of stuff is left up in the air.
The other cool thing too, if you guys have signed up for the tickets, you guys already have gotten the emails of the missions and maps. This stuff is also public on the game ticket on the webpage on the website. But if you guys haven't seen, we have also created 2 Facebook pages for the 2 different factions. If you guys want to follow a lot of the chatter that's been going on for the game event, so I believe there's Rebel Command and then the Imperial Command, and so you can find those Facebook pages on the game ticket as well. Join those groups, and then that's just one Facebook page for the entire faction for everybody in the country. So yes, we are doing events all California, East Coast, West Coast, Central, and all that. But this is one place to unify the entire factions, so you can see all the chatter together. So if you guys are planning to be a part of BB Wars event, even if you're not going to this Texas event, I would recommend following that group page so you can see what's going on in this awesome world that we set up.
Absolutely, and actually someone asked a question that might be good to answer. They were asking if we're going to be playing the day before at D14. We won't be playing. We'll be out there just making sure everything is set up as well as possible for BB Wars Episode 1. So we'll probably be out there, but we'll be very busy just making sure that the game is going to be as excellent as possible the next day. Also, we're going to be at the walk-in store for a little bit earlier in the day, just to show off some of the stuff we're going to be bringing and saying hi to everyone who does show up. So if you're not playing at D14, head on over to the Airsoft GI walk-in store in Plano, Texas, and you might see us for a little bit, as well as some of the sponsors who are probably going to be out there, like Brian and Tank from Jag Precision, as well as Eric from KWA.
Yeah, and don't forget, if you guys aren't familiar, on Saturday we are having a Gear Up sale at the Plano, Texas store, which is about 20 minutes north of Dallas. It's going to be 25% off everything in store, and there's going to be select map brands that are going to be dropped. So it's a great time to gear up for the next day, which is going to be BB Wars, of course. So get the BBs and green gas, or maybe that extra gun you guys have been waiting on. So maybe we could talk about the field a little bit more too, because I feel like this field is absolutely amazing. I feel like we lucked out so much. And big shout out to D14 and J Ward. You guys are awesome, and we can't wait to come out again. What are you most excited about for the field?
I'm most excited this sounds weird, to see your Tactical Operations Center, because they've been doing a lot of work on what was called the mosque. It already has an outer fence line, and they created an inner wall. So they've got 4 essentially minarets, but are essentially giant tubes with walls, and they created giant tubes with windows. They created walls in between each of those, and some of the walls have big breaches in it. So essentially, you get over the outer fence line, and then you have an inner wall to deal with. And when you enter the wall, it's actually just a hallway. So you have to fight your way through the hallway to get into the inner courtyard. So it's like essentially whoever gets there and holds it well is probably going to hold it for the majority of each round. So if we're able to take away that fortress from you, I'm just going to shovel as many troopers as I can in there, just making a meat grinder.
That's going to be intense. It makes me think of like a medieval castle where you have like layers and layers upon defense, and then you got a bottleneck of a hallway that you got to try to get through.
Well, it's interesting because at Line Clause 1, which I was a squad leader at the field in Bakersfield where I used to play paintball, they had a fortress that's similar to the one we're going to be playing at. And I remember telling Colonel McKnight, whoever takes this is going to hold it for the rest of the damn game, because there's only 2 ways in, and it's so covered that that it's going to be impossible to take back. Now, thankfully, over the years, obviously, airsoft grenades have become more and more prevalent, so it's going to be much easier because back in the day, we didn't really have those. So yeah, it's an incredibly defensible position, but it's also because it's so awesome. So the D14 guys have really done a great job. Because there has been a lot of rain and thunderstorms recently, I do know that some of the trenches where my Rebel Command Post is going to be set up near are partially flooded. So there are going to be some trenches we can't use, some which we can use, and some we absolutely can use if you want a bit of a bath, which I might take advantage of. So yeah.
So I think that also brings up another good point. You mentioned grenades. I think grenades are going to be very helpful at this game because it's a big mix of like big open engagements, but there's also like trench warfare. There's a whole like mount town and all that, which is really, really cool. So if you guys can bring a lot of grenades or stop by the Plano, Texas store and pick up some more grenades. But some of the things, we were talking about, some of the stuff that we're preparing and that we're bringing. Make sure you guys bring lots of water. That's going to be mandatory. Bring some snacks. I believe lunch is not going to be provided, but there is places nearby you can drive to for lunch, but bring snacks so you guys can have some food. The other thing we wanted to recommend is make sure you bring your signed waiver from the field to make registration quicker, along with your invoice from the ticket. And then the last thing is your medic band. The medic band is as simple as just a white piece of cloth that you can wrap around your arm. Essentially how that's going to work is every player needs to have the medic band on themselves, and it's their own medic band. So if you get shot, you go down, and then you have to have another player revive you. But when they revive you, you pull out your medic band and they wrap it around your arm. So you can't medic yourself, obviously. And yeah, so make sure you guys bring that stuff. Dead Rag 2, if not, we have those we can set you guys up with.
Yeah, and medic bands, I mean, like Daniel said, you can use a variety of different things. You can have a piece of white cloth, like you can take a pillowcase, tear it apart. Please, if it's not yours, ask whoever's it is first. Some of the things I've done, which Daniel's kind of making fun of me before, is I've actually used shopping bags. They're incredibly lightweight. You can compress them really small, and because they have those loops to carry, you actually just slip the loops between, and it's tied easy. So you can use your imagination, but try and get as close to white as possible, and something that's easy to tie on. And yeah, I'll bring a couple just in case you lose them. Someone was actually asking if they could be a commander or a sergeant, how they go about doing that. We're actually going to be divvying up NCO or sub-leadership spots on the field, and we're mostly going to do it based on, if you know the terrain, if you played a D14 before, just because that's going to be better overall for all of the players. I mean, Daniel and I are both going to benefit from folks that have experience and know the lay of the land, because we've only played there once.
Yeah.
And we didn't get to see every nook and cranny, but we got a really good understanding of the field. However, we are going to have a definitive advantage from the folks that are playing on our team that do know the field better than we do. So we'll be dividing that up on the day of.
I saw a comment I do want to bring up, which I thought was awesome. Somebody was saying, I'm going to dress as Lando, which I'm guessing Lando from Star Wars. That would be amazing.
The other Lando.
I don't know any other Lando. I'm really excited to see costumes. If you guys bring stuff out, I know that last zombie game that we did in Antioch, there was some crazy like clown costumes and other stuff like that.
That was vicious and delicious.
So, yeah. Here's a good question for you guys. First of all, who either went to the last BB Wars event on Sunday in Virginia, and then who is going to the Texas BB Wars event or the California event? Who's going to one of these events? And do you guys have any questions we can answer for you guys on BB Wars? Because I've seen a lot of comments that like, oh, I'm going to shoot, Bob or Daniel or whoever. So I know, you guys are really excited about this. We're really excited that we created this campaign as well too, because it's been, a lot of work and planning and effort, but it's been so much fun too.
I actually do want to throw out one of the coolest costumes I've ever seen at one of our events. I mean, the clown guy was awesome. The guy in the biohazard suit was legit. But the coolest one I've ever seen, and correct me if you saw any other ones, you ever seen Firefly?
Yes, I have.
Good. There was a guy from it's like the 42nd Independent Volunteer Infantry, which is basically, he was dressed as a brown coat at the Fort Ord game, and he had the full outfit from the TV show Firefly.
Wow.
And I literally saw him while I was respawning. I was like, hey guy. Are you a brown coat? He was like, it's like 42nd Volunteer Infantry. I was like, oh my god! So I nerded out all over him. So, but yeah, I'm hoping people get a little creative with their stuff, and it should be really fun.
Yeah, that's really awesome. Somebody's asking the age limit at BB Wars. The age limit will vary depending on the field regulations and limitations. I actually forget the exact age limit on this event for Texas. I know it's on the game ticket. Let me see if I can find it really quick. But when we do these events, we work with the local fields. So every field will have a little bit different game rules or different requirements and stuff like that. So it's always important that you guys read the rules and regulations. And a lot of times it's also due to the different insurance that different companies and fields will have. So for this game, oh, there you go. For the Texas game, no player under the age of 12-year-old is allowed. So that's the age limit for that. But once again, depending on what field, age limits may vary.
Indubitably.
Yes. Let me see. Somebody's asking if I can bring my Airsoft lightsaber. I've never seen an Airsoft lightsaber. I'm assuming it's just a...
I'm curious.
Yes. A lightsaber made out of BBs. That'd be dope.
Now, here's on the game ticket, I said that you weren't allowed to use melee weapon unless it was covered in foam. I will make an exception for lightsabers because I've been fencing against lightsabers for a god awful long time, so that's totally cool.
Yeah, I mean with melee weapons, it's for safety. Obviously, you don't want somebody to get hurt, or you don't want to poke somebody's eye out, or I mean worst case scenario, you don't want to accidentally bring somebody's mask off or get it snagged and stuff like that. So all of it is for safety. Let me see. I see some questions. Maybe we can ask or answer. I'm sorry. That was funny. Somebody was asking if Mr. Muncherman was here. I was wondering the same thing. I see him all the time. I added him on PlayStation 4. I saw
I'm a car guy here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. I'm a car guy. Your shout out is approved.
Nice. Somebody's asking what age you need to be. Once again, the age limit is 12 or older. Somebody's asking, is tactical bacon allowed? Yes, absolutely.
I have some at home.
That would be awesome. Let's see what else. What other? See any other questions? It's going kind of fast.
Yeah, they go by kind of fast. Oh, someone's asking what is an affordable KWA gun? It depends on your version of affordable, but I would highly suggest checking out the KWA CQRs, the Mod 1 and Mod 2. They're designed from the ground up for CQB, but they're also designed to be incredibly affordable. And right out of the box, they're great. That's one of the things I love about KWA guns is that out of the box, you're pretty assured of their performance. That's why I always use them as the majority of my sidearms.
Here's a good question. Somebody's asking, is Tim dead? Tim is MIA.
He is technically alive.
Yes, but he is missing. I saw that Sean said he's going to dress up like, I think it was Boba Fett. If you come in a full Boba Fett outfit, oh my gosh, that'd be amazing.
You'd probably be on the Imperials.
Yes. Yeah. Can I wear my Confederate uniform? If you want. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, especially, and I mean, I'm always curious about the folks that do dress up Civil War reenactments. I actually love going to those. And I believe the camo or the uniform requirements for the Rebels, grays on the Rebel side. So that would actually fit in pretty well.
Yeah, definitely.
But it's also kind of cool to see legit Civil War outfits.
I did see a question saying, where's the SoCal event at? That's happening April 26th in Colton at Code Red Airsoft Park. So that's going to be the SoCal game. Those tickets are selling fast. So
really fast.
Yeah, get those soon if you guys are planning on going to that.
Can I mention how many slots there are left on the Rebels for that game?
Sure.
There are 10 slots left on the Rebels. So if you know you want to fight for the Rebels at our Code Red event, codenamed Red Alert, get your tickets now. Seriously, get them
now. Here's a good question from Minnesota Racing. It's saying, oops, where'd it go? I think it's jumping around, but it was asking, Bob, do you come up with the storyline for BB Wars? There's another part, but I think, will Tim return for Airsoft games? And is there a specific grenade that you request? So maybe the storyline, we can talk about the storyline a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
The question was for you. Do you create the storyline? How does that go about?
Well, I mean, the storyline is influenced by a variety of things. I mean, when we came out with the BB Wars prologue episode, I mean, that was a team effort creating that storyline. However, each of these games, I mean, you guys are essentially helping us write the storyline. That's what's so cool about these, and also like the Tim versus Bob series of games. Every time we ended a game, we had to figure out where it's going to go next, and we based it completely on what happened in the previous game. And some of it were, like, we based some of the story on, like, some of the smaller things that happened, too. So as far as how this storyline went or how it's created, the prologue videos, which influenced the storyline, were a team effort. I would say, like, I've done a fair amount of the storyline creation for these scenarios themselves, but for the rest of the overarching storyline, this is really a team effort through the marketing department at Airsoft GI. I couldn't remember what the rest of the question was.
I think it was talking if Tim is coming back or not. He's missing in action. I don't know.
That's classified. We're not allowed to say anything, but yeah. But honestly, like I would love to give you guys more details on what we have planned for the rest of the year, but I'm actually not allowed to. I'm only allowed to talk about the stuff that we've been publicly releasing because we want We want you guys to get really excited for these events we've already got going, and not just wait for the last event of the year. Because the cool thing about these, like I mentioned before, is that each one of these games is going to sincerely affect the final war and even the follow-up game. Like our game at Code Red, whoever wins that game is going to get a strategic resource to use at the final battle, but they'll also win for their side a tactical resource to use at the next game we're having in California, which is going to follow up kind of soon after. And I can't say anything about it other than what I just said. So yeah, it's going to be really important at each one of these games that you're either there fighting for your team or supporting the folks that are. So this is going to be pretty awesome. Pretty great year.
And even beyond this year, I think that's another point I really like making, is that this is not just a 2015 campaign. Yes, at the end of 2015, we're going to have a final battle, and we're going to determine, what's happened throughout the year. But 2016, whatever happened this year is going to continue on. So all the actions and all the objectives that you guys take, or the convoys that you protect, or the VIPs that you assassinate or protect, and all of that matters, And that's what I'm so excited about these events, that they're not just like one-offs. You play at this Airsoft event, and then whatever happens, that's it. It has a direct impact on your fellow Empire or Rebel soldiers, across the country on the West Coast or East Coast or in Texas or wherever, And I think that's awesome. That's amazing.
And what's really neat too is we're actually going to be having the BB Wars website come out soon, where you can see the disposition of who controls what territory and who controls what other territory across North America. And what's neat is that at the end of each game, you're going to see territory shift based on who won each battle. But I do want to answer some of these people's questions. Ethan Rowley wants his shout-out approved, which is going to get approved right now. Your shout-out is approved. Someone also was asking what is a good grenade you would suggest. For these outdoor games, I would personally suggest, especially if you want a more affordable option, I would suggest getting a Thunder Bee or multiple Thunder Bees. I also really like the Airsoft Innovations Tornado grenades. However, sometimes they don't work as well on grass. They don't spin properly. So if I was going to assault the fortress that you guys are going to be in, I would want a tornado grenade.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that.
Good.
I would say, yeah, let's just jump into some questions, because I see a lot of questions coming. Somebody was asking, how far away is Code Red from Fullerton? I'm from La Mirada, so I'm familiar with that area. So from Fullerton, it's about an hour drive out to Colton. Depending on traffic on Sunday, the day of the event, it should be at about an hour. There was one more question I wanted to answer. Oh, the question was, what bio BBs do you recommend? I'm actually really happy that this Texas event is being sponsored by BioBile, because they make excellent biodegradable BBs, very consistent, shoot very straight. So those are the ones that I would recommend, and that's actually what I'm using at the Texas event. This field is biodegradable BBs only, so if you guys don't have any, please make sure you pick some up at the store. And yeah, let's see what other questions we have.
Jack Rooks, your friend with PTSD, has his shout out approved.
Okay, let's see. Before I forget, we got some new custom guns we want to show you.
Indeed, we do.
Maybe you can pass me some of the guns. I'll go over some of the details, and then we can also try to answer questions. Not that one. The other one.
Did you already talk about it?
Yeah, we talked about that one. That was the XCR. Let's see. I see people. Okay. Ethan already answered your question. Yeah. Oh no, I'm sorry, not that one. The ones in the gun bag. Let me grab them. I'll grab them if you want to answer questions.
Yep. Let me scoot back on here.
Pass this to you.
Excellent. Oh, this is awesome. This is a great thing I like about having a world-class tech department at our retail stores. The fact that sometimes, actually most of the time, they come out with guns that look like a piece of art. So this is really cool.
Yeah, okay, so we got some new custom guns that were created by the technicians. This one, if I look at it correctly, I believe both these are based off Echo 1 Platinums, which are super cool. The one that Bob is holding is the, what do you call it? What is that?
Daedalus.
Daedalus. Okay, cool. I was going to completely butcher that, so I didn't want to embarrass myself. So this is, once again, based off the Echo 1 Platinum. We're going to have the Knights barrel extension. We're going to have some rail covers. This is an NC Star Vism red laser green dot.
Thank you.
And then we also have a Magpul tan pistol grip. And so this guy is also an Echo 1 Platinum. This one we're going to have an MFT Battle Link stock. This is going to be a Magpul pistol grip. This is Madbull TRX rail system. This is actually a really cool rail system because these rail panels are modular. You can move them there, wherever you want. And then this is the new Fur Franz. I forget the exact model name on this one, but it's a compensator that's actually how would you say it, adjustable. But you can take that off like that, which is super dope.
I honestly think it looks really cool just on there.
Yeah, I would agree. But this is definitely really cool. Some new parts that we just got in from GAG Precision.
Jag.
The last thing I want to show you guys really quick is something that I'm actually afraid to touch because I don't want to break it.
Yeah, I actually already told Daniel I ain't touching it.
Yeah.
Because it's so nice.
Okay, so this is probably one of the nicest airsoft pistols ever.
Hold that up a little bit so they can see it.
Yeah, that's exactly where I'm going. Okay, so let me pull up the information so I can talk about it accurately.
Daniel and I actually saw this at SHOT Show, and that one we could play with as much as we wanted because we didn't have to pay for it. But.
Okay, so this is the RWA or Red Wolf, a licensed Nighthawk GRP Recon 1911 CO2 CNC Steel limited edition airsoft gun. The one that we held at SHOT Show did not feel like an airsoft gun. It felt a lot like a 1911. And so this thing, once again, is made of steel. It's CO2 powered, so it's going to have a really hard kick. This thing is pricey. This thing goes for almost $1,300. But this is probably one of the nicest, most realistic airsoft guns or airsoft 1911s you will ever encounter. It comes with a certificate of authenticity. This really nice black case. I'm going to wipe it off so I don't get my fingerprints all over it. But this thing is just gorgeous. This is definitely a collector piece. I would collect it.
Well, that's the cool thing is like you actually own a real 1911, so you do know what you're talking about. I don't personally own one. I do want one. However, this is by Red Wolf Armory, which has come out with quite a variety of different cool stuff in the past little while, and this is no exception. So I know when you finally got your hands on it, you're like, oh, this feels real. Yeah. So that was cool to see.
I want it.
And it's interesting because, like, I'm sure we already have some people going $1,300. And here's the thing is that, like, this may not be in your price range. This isn't in my price range, but this is in someone's price range. And, there have been times when I've actually been in the market for a custom, highly decked out pistol, and I was really happy with it. So, if this is something you really want to get, make sure to get on it as soon as you can because we have a limited quantity of these, and they are really awesome. RWA puts in a lot of great work into these.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're coming down to the last about 7-8 minutes of the live show, so we'll open it up to shout-outs and or questions. Let's see what we got. Bob, somebody wants you to know that he got his TM870.
Oh, yeah. No, he was telling me he wanted to get one. I believe it's Jay Plaz. I talked to him. He's actually been out to our walk-in store. He's from Arizona. He's been eagerly awaiting those to get back in stock on our site. So once they did, I was like, Jay, they're here. And he's like, oh, I'm on it. So I see him at every other, well, not every other, but every now and again at a sale. And he's a really great guy. Cool. So thanks for getting one. I hope you have a great time with it.
Sounds good. What other questions do we have? Sorry, this is going really fast. Let me see if I can slow this down a little bit. What is the best M4, M16 variant out of the box for a reasonable price from Garrison? That's always going to depend on what your price range is. I'll give a couple things really quick. For $100 or less, Lancer Tactical. For $200 or less, the KWA CQRs are probably some of the best guns internally. If you're looking at the $300 price range, the G4 FMG4 line is amazing too.
Well, let's say the G4 line is also around kind of the $200 price range.
Yeah, I think the lowest one is like $200 for the Blitz.
Yeah. And the cool thing is that like we have a wide variety of custom versions of the G4s and the FMG4s, so you have a lot more options with those. However, obviously the CQRs are great guns out of the box.
Absolutely.
Ooh,
good question from Jaden. Would you rather have? Oh no, don't disappear. A tactical C3PO or R2D2 operating on your team? I would go R2D2.
I would definitely go to R2D2 because he's what's that called? Useful
and
C3PO,
awesome.
Yeah, well, C3PO just sits there and complains.
I'm a huge fan of the Clone Wars. I haven't finished the series, but I'm like 3 seasons in. And R2D2 is badass. Are you kidding me? He like takes on like battle droids at a certain point. There's like, yeah, he's really cool. So definitely R2D2. Easy question. What else do we have?
The comments are going by real fast.
Yeah, I saw something about bacon.
I think it's about tactical bacon again.
Wild Wolf is saying, Daniel, if I bring... Oh, don't disappear. Saying something about bringing bacon. You had me at bringing bacon. I'm excited already. Okay, it's gone.
Yeah, I saw it and then it disappeared again.
It's gone.
Dang it. Sorry, guys.
Frank is asking he needs help picking out a chest rig. One of the best chest rigs I could recommend is the Griffin Golem chest
Dang
rig.
it.
I know you're going to go there. I wanted to beat you to
Gosh.
it. That chest rig is awesome because it's very affordable. It's $15, and it's going to come with 3 magazine pouches up front that can easily fit 2 AK mags per or 3 M4 mags per, which is 9. And you have a little Molly real estate on the side if you want like a utility pouch or let's say a holster. That's the best one for a very affordable price. If you have a little bit more to spend, I would recommend the one I personally use, which is the Blue Force Gear 10-speed chest rig, one of the lightest plate carriers. It's so light and compact that I actually put it in my dump pouch when I transport it from field to field. And so those are the 2 that I'd recommend off the top of my head.
Yeah, the Blue Force Gear chest rigs are really great if you're looking for a really lightweight, high-speed loadout. However, I've said this before and I'll say it again, I think the Griffin Golem chest rigs are probably the best deal on our website. I mean, we've been having some amazing blitzes go through of guns at rock bottom prices, but still, like the bang for your buck on those Griffin Golem chest rings is amazing. I took them out to Operation Irene, that John Liu's Operation Line Claws Military Simulation Series through, and that was at Fort Knox at the Special Forces Training Course. And that chest rig did everything I needed to and more. It held a lot of stuff. And one of the things that I like is the attention to detail on the Griffin Golem chest rig, because at such an affordable plate carrier, you don't think you get much, but you get a lot in this one. They don't the shoulder straps aren't thin like you see on cheaper ones. They're actually really wide to disperse the weight. The mat pouch on the inside is the entire vest. So yeah, you can put Big League Chew. You can put your favorite magazine. Heck, you can put like 5 iPods in there. Like I mean,
probably a kitten.
Half a kitten and maybe like 17 hot dogs. I mean, you can put a lot of stuff in there. So great deal. I probably shouldn't talk too long about it. I'm just a really big believer.
I want to answer another question after the train goes by.
You can start talking.
Somebody was asking, what is a good affordable DMR? Actually, if you can pass me the, I think it's the one on the far left, the one really far away from you. Bill just did a great video on SR25s, and this is an excellent DMR that I would recommend for an affordable price. This is the A&K, I believe, SR25. So it goes for about $250, and this is an awesome DMR rifle where I believe it's not going to come with the scope, but it will come up with the flip up and down iron sights, the grip, and the magazine as well. So in that video, Bill actually goes over 3 different SR25s at different price ranges. One is from Echo One, this one's from A&K, and the other one was from G&G. Each one is definitely really good with in its own price range, but this is one that I would recommend. It's really hard to talk with Bob making funny faces.
Sorry. That's right. We're trying to keep up with the comments and the shout-outs. Just right now, they're just going by so fast. Yeah.
Any good questions?
AJ Awesome, your shout-out is approved. AKM4 Airsoft, I couldn't remember the rest of your name because it went by so fast. Your shout-out is approved because you asked for an awesome one. Hey, this is from, hey, Thumpy. Thumpy's asking, hey, who here gets their news from Thumpy?
I do.
Yep.
I check it daily, Thumpy. I'm on it daily.
Yeah, pretty much every single day. It's always fun to watch.
Somebody was asking what is the best rail system. I'll give you my top 2 favorites. Right now, I have the Mad Bull Noveski NSR key mod, which is super lightweight. I absolutely love that. That's on one of my guns. The other one that I put on an FMG4, I didn't put it on, the technician's built, is the new G4 M-Lock rail system. I actually prefer the M-Lock system over key mod. Not saying key mod is bad, that's just my preference. They're both amazing, but the new M-Lock G4 M-Lock rail system is super dope, looks really clean, and I just love the functionality and how light it is too. So those are my 2 top favorites right now.
Yeah, I do like the M-Lock system, and the main reason for that for me is I actually find it to be a little bit easier to use than the key mod system.
Yeah, I agree.
However, the last rail I purchased, which I'm a really big fan of right now, and I'm going to put it on my KWA LM4. I actually just got a Fortis rail. It's very lightweight but incredibly strong. So I'm normally not one for lightweight. So mainly the 2 things for me is that it looks cool and it's incredibly strong. So it's just handy that it happens to be lightweight. Let's see.
There was a question saying, do we paint guns? We are actually working on setting up custom paint jobs for you guys. We have, I believe, John Curry, I believe is the guy that does
John Curry and Spencer in our tech department. They come out with some amazing custom camo paint schemes, but they also tech a lot. So we're trying to figure out some way where we can get a consistent, awesome paint scheme out, and they can still accomplish their tech work. But I mean, some of the guns we've gotten in that I literally like. like that I can't remember which gun it was, but it was a sniper rifle. They called it the Sidewinder. I held it.
M40, yeah.
It felt like I was looking at like Blue Boy or like a Picasso or something. I mean, that may be too generous, but it was just a work of art, and it was really cool to see because our tech department puts out great stuff.
So that is a work in progress. Hopefully we can get that up soon. I keep seeing people talking about Battle Hack soon. Battle Hack. You guys will be happy. We are working on some gameplay footage of our visit there last year, so we'll be putting that up pretty soon. But otherwise, yeah, Battle Hack is a great field. I really like it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, absolutely amazing.
Connor Woolrich, your shout out goes to all Brits. Shout out approved. And you might want to know that our East Coast store manager, Ed, is a former Brit himself.
Yes. All right, I think maybe one or two more questions. Oh, hard question. Do we like bacon?
No, well, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Hard question. KWA SR10 or Echo 1 Platinum? I would say the SR10 if you want to leave it bone stock, but if you want to upgrade the internals a lot more, go with the Echo 1 Platinum. They're both amazing. They're both fantastic guns. Absolutely fantastic. So you'd be happy either way.
Yeah, I would agree with exactly what you said.
Any more questions we can answer really quick? I saw StarCraft and got excited and it disappeared.
Basically, someone just saying, they said StarCraft story, Bob. So why don't we each tell a StarCraft story?
Oh, a StarCraft story? That's really hard.
Really?
I'm trying to think of good ones. There's some times in like the StarCraft 1 where I'd get a ghost and I'd just nuke their entire base. Oh no, here's a good StarCraft story. I did this a lot of times. In StarCraft 1, you have the Arbiter, which is their spaceship.
Mm-hmm.
One of my tactics that not a lot of people would do is it's a support spaceship, and so it's supposed to have like one or two, and you just support your guys. What I would do is I'd create a small fleet of them, and then I would fly them through all the defensives on the enemy base and pop them right in the middle of the base, and then there's a ability where you can teleport your guys to wherever the Arbiter is.
Dick.
So I would bum rush as many as I could, and most of them would go down, but I only needed one to get there, and then my entire army just suddenly is in the middle of the enemy base. Game over.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite strats.
That's a dick move.
Yes.
My StarCraft story, I actually played 3 rounds of Tim versus Bob StarCraft a number of years ago, and I hope the recording is still on my computer. I walloped him in the first round by those new, I'm trying to think of it, but the guys with jetpacks that can jump over. Reapers, thank you. I went into the back of his base, destroyed all his minerals, and just wiped him off the face of the map. The second game, I had him dead, and a friend of mine who works at KWA told Tim, it was like, well, Tim, you might as well just send everything into his base. You got nothing to lose now. And the thing is, the deal with the Tim versus Bob StarCraft is that we're not supposed to get help from anybody. And Tim just sent all the stuff in my base, and he happened to get through because I was busy attacking other stuff. And I was like, gee, you can't do it. We're cheating. You're cheating. So he won that second one, and the third one he actually full-on rickrolled me. So technically he won 2 out of 3, but it was with an asterisk, that jackass.
That's awesome. I need to play more StarCraft.
You really do.
Okay, so this is the last question we're going to answer because we got to get going. But someone was asking, is the Gear Up sale only at Texas? For the Gear Up sale on Saturday, yes, this one's only at Texas. The way we're setting it up is the day before any event that is going to be close to one of the stores, we're going to have the Gear Up sales the day before, obviously, so you can gear up. So the Texas event is this Sunday, so we're doing a Gear Up sale in Texas the Saturday before. The California game on the 26th, we're doing a Gear Up sale in the California store on the 25th, the day before, so you can get all your stuff that you need. So hopefully that answers your question. Otherwise, I think we are out of time.
Yeah, we did stay a little bit longer.
Yeah, but if you guys are in Texas, we hope you guys join us for the BB Wars event this Sunday. We're flying out, I believe, on Friday, and we're very excited to go out there. And stay tuned for a lot more BB Wars events that's happening nationwide. So we have a lot more stuff planned for you guys. So otherwise, we hope you guys enjoyed this live show. See you next time.
Bye-bye, guys. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.